Battle through the firmament. Great world. Chapter 439. Challenge. In the quiet forest, as serene as ever, the seemingly peaceful woods concealed an unimaginable crisis. Damn brat. A thunderous roar suddenly sounded. In a dense part of the forest, a white figure sped along at high velocity, dodging incoming wind blades without suffering the slightest injury. The young man in white held a long sword. Like a dragon leaping into the abyss, sword light shot out in all directions, gathering into one piercing strike aimed at a huge tiger-shaped heavenly beast. Below, a young man in a black robe wielded a massive ruler, his figure swift as lightning. Streams of scarlet golden lightning surged over the surface of the ruler. With tremendous force, he smashed it toward the chest of the tiger-shaped heavenly beast, causing the surrounding ancient trees to explode. On the other side, a lady with a pretty face, dressed in black tight clothing, wore a grave expression. Green flames curled around her delicate hand. With a light flick of her 10 fingers, numerous green arrows pierced through space, instantly appearing beside the tiger-shaped heavenly beast. A green flame suddenly ignited on the tip of each arrow, piercing through the beast's tough hide. The three were Mahuyang, Xiaoyan, and Wu Shaoqi. One day earlier, Xiaoyan had finally sensed the existence of the battle command. When the three of them found this place, they indeed saw a white-striped tiger guarding it. The white spirit-tattooed tiger was one of the descendants of the white tiger. Although the white tiger bloodline in its body was extremely thin, its ferocity was undiminished. It had fought with the three of them for several rounds without a decisive outcome. Boom! The three attacks struck the huge body of the white tiger almost simultaneously, causing it to cry out in pain. Even as a peak of Monarch Emperor, it was unable to withstand their combined assault. All right, I'll give this to you all. The fur on its body was seriously damaged. Heart aching, the tiger retrieved an iron box the size of a palm from under itself, tossed it to Mahuyang, and hurried away. After catching the battle command the white tiger threw, they glanced at the departing figure. None had any intention of pursuit. Forcing a peak of Monarch Emperor heavenly beast into a corner, even with the three of them united, they would likely be severely injured. Now we have 2 battle commands. The remaining 2 are just enough for the arena matches. After handing the battle commands to Wu Shaoqi, Mahuyang let out a soft sigh. As soon as he stopped, he felt a wave of weakness from within. He hurriedly took out the jade bottle Xiaoyan had given him and drank a few mouthfuls of the extreme will heavenly spring. Only then did he feel slightly better. Wu Shaoqi wiped the perspiration from her forehead, her eyes filled with excitement. Let me fight in the next match. With the battle command, no matter which academy the opponent is from, I can eliminate one of them. Xiaoyan put away the blue flame ruler and exchanged a glance with Mahuyang. Both nodded. There were still 2 rings left, and no one knew the outcome of the battle between Zhu Tianhou and Lin Dao. Given Xiaoyan's cautious nature, he and Mahuyang had already prepared for the worst. Therefore, the 3 of them could not afford to make any mistakes. The youngsters this year all seemed to have quite the temper. On the mountaintop, Old Man Chang suddenly spoke, muttering to himself with a strange expression. Ling Gu frowned and looked at Old Man Chang. What do you mean by that, Elder Jiang? Sighing, Old Man Chang said nothing. Moments earlier, the guardian heavenly beast of the second arena, the Kui Tortoise, had sent him a divine sense message. A student from the Glaze Academy had been killed on the spot by a student from Star Sky Academy. Though he understood the competition's cruelty better than anyone, he was still disappointed to learn that a female student had died. Someone is coming. Just as he sighed inwardly, a commotion broke out in the crowd. A young student landed on the mountaintop. It was Shi Kanghai. Ha ha ha. Good. Xing Chanyu burst into laughter upon seeing Shi Kanghai. He said, good, 3 times in a row. The weakest of the 5, Shi Kanghai, had reached the summit. Kang Feng, Shang Shaoshan, and Wu Tiandu were also fine. It seemed all 5 spots for Star Sky Academy had been secured. Unlike Xing Chanyu's joy, Su Jiang, Yi Xuan, and Tang Hong wore solemn expressions. Shi Kanghai's arrival meant one of their students had been eliminated, a situation none wished to see. Whoosh! At that moment, a stream of light rushed up from below. It halted at the mountaintop as a dragon's roar echoed in everyone's ears. The next instant, a young man in tattered clothes landed. Behind him, a long spear exuding majestic aura was strapped to his back. He resembled an unsheathed sharp sword, his presence awe-inspiring. Lin Dao. Su Jiang felt relieved seeing the newcomer. He glanced at Zhu Tianluo, who was recuperating nearby. The latter had been carried to the peak by a heavenly beast, arriving weak and nearly fainting. Su Jiang had used several extremely precious medicine pills to stabilize his ki, a high price, but he was satisfied with the victory. Seeing Lin Dao safe and sound made Su Jiang even happier. This was a far better outcome compared to previous years. Tang Hong and Yi Xuan's faces darkened at the sight of Lin Dao. They pursed their lips and remained silent. Thus far, not a single student from Southern Sky Academy or Glaze Academy had arrived, making them extremely anxious. Yunlo Academy. Is it going to rise up? Whispers spread through the distant crowd. Seeing that Yunlo Academy and Star Sky Academy, traditionally the weakest, each had 2 disciples at the summit, they were naturally surprised. This is only the first 2 matches. With proper arrangements, the chances of winning are still high. Although Yunlo Academy and Star Sky Academy each have 2, the gap is still evident upon closer look. True, Kang Feng from Star Sky Academy, Shang Shaoshan, and the other geniuses are all very strong. As for Yunlo Academy, aside from Lin Dao, only Ma Huyang remains. I doubt he'll last long. Nan Tian and Lu Li might still catch up. There's hope they can suppress Yunlo Academy. Hard to say. If any team has the battle command, there will be many variables. As everyone whispered, in an inconspicuous corner, Zhou Yuan and Zhu Mo sat quietly. The former's gaze followed Lin Dao as he walked. After a long while, he finally pursed his lips and muttered, "This fellow is very strong. If he hadn't used monic arts in our fight, I don't think we could have beaten him." Zhu Mo, standing beside him, smiled subtly. The killing intent constantly leaking from Lin Dao's body made him marvel. If such a person gained any fortune in the future, his potential would be immense. Several days passed in the blink of an eye. By the time the 3 of them stepped into the 3rd arena, over a month had already gone by. Come on, who's our opponent this time? Wu Shaoqi rubbed her fists together impatiently, looking toward the other side of the arena. You guessed it. Ma Huyang narrowed his eyes and instantly recognized the 3 figures. He looked at Xiaoyan and smiled. It really is Star Sky Academy. Xiaoyan smiled faintly. Seeing the enemy lineup, a solemn expression crossed his face. The weakest opponent, Shi Kanghai, was absent. Whether eliminated or victorious, his absence was highly disadvantageous. Wu Shaoqi had clearly realized this too. Not seeing Shi Kanghai, she paused, her hand halting as she was about to take out the battle command. What do we do now? Who should challenge? Wu Shaoqi turned sideways and asked softly. She truly didn't know the strength of Shang Shaoshan, Wu Tiandu, and Kang Feng. Star Sky Academy's Wu Tiandu challenges Yunlo Academy's Wu Shaoqi. Before Xiaoyan could respond, a man in green clothes floated onto the stage. He held a palm-sized token and announced loudly, "Chapter end. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe."